Hello, it's Mike from TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Flagstaff Microlite 25 BRDS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to think about when you're parking this. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for your awning. On your off campsite, of course we're going to leave a little room for your slide, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. And they're both going to be right behind your slide, right behind your tires, on the driver's side of your tow vehicle. Water, power. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Leave room for everything. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we do is going to level our unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply lower or raise the unit until you're level. Your unit door is about in the middle. I'd say stick a level inside there. Once you got it level, next thing we do is stabilize it. Now, one note on this power stabilizing jack or leveling jack, you do have a manual override should you lose power. The thinner of your two hand cranks fits on a bolt down in there and will get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose. Again, once you get it level, next thing we do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these scissor stabilizing jacks, any 3/4 inch hand crank. You can use a drill gun. I do not recommend an impact driver. You can tear the connection here apart with the strength. But I will recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads will protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. It'll keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop at some campsites. Get a 4-pack of those with our 10% off coupon. Put them down underneath these and run these down just until they're taut. Remember, our unit's already level. We just want to stabilize it. So once we've got some resistance on our hand crank, go ahead and stop. Get all four of them down. Throw some tire chocks in if you need to. Get your unit level and stable. Next thing we'll do is hook up our power and water. Got a big long 30 amp cord here. Plugs in here on the side. Kind of a pistol grip. Grab it like so. Put it in at pointed at about 11 o'clock. Twist up to about noon. And then go ahead and put this washer on there. It doesn't turn all the way, so put it in about 10 to 11. If you got blue, you got power. At the end of that, should you need to plug into a 110 in your convenience pack, will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we'll hook up to city water connections. First and foremost, in your convenience pack will be a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these. Hook that up to city water connection. Hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is located over here on the campsite, and all we're doing at this point, folks, is make sure our drain plug's back in there. Catch your end-on rod here. Use plumber's tape, not putty. Putty will gum up on you over time. Nice plumber's tape. Get that in there nice and snug. I believe that's 1 1/8. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a while, go inside, open up your slide, turn on your sinks and showers, get all the air out of your lines, get a nice steady flow of water, and you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're not going to go to a campsite, we're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank, which is at the front of our off campsite. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill this with a hose. 2 ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that while you're filling it. Don't leave it unattended. Once it's full, remove that hose, put that cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook the city water. That is already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp. We got power and water. I'll go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit before taking you indoors. Again, fresh water here. More docking lights. Stabilizing jacks. Here's your hitch work and your big pass-through storage here. Access panel to your water pump behind this panel here. Square head screws. Usually close to fresh water is freshwater drain. That white handle there. storage here, a couple accessories we give you. This is a bag for your power cord. More storage here. Holds up with a magnet. So back here again, we got city water connection. Here's where you plug in the cable at the campsites. If you got satellite hookup, go ahead and plug that in here. And here is where you will suck in your antifreeze to winterize the unit. Over here is a tank flush. That's for dumping or cleaning out our black tank. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks here. And then our low point drains are underneath here as well. See if I can find them. There they are, up underneath the lip back here. Literally right behind there. If you got a spare tire cover, keep that on there. That helps that from keeping that from dry rotting. Your hitch information is right there. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there several times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You also have your backup camera on here as well. Access to the back. Remember to keep this locked when you're traveling. This is storage because this bunk will fold up. Coming around here to our campsites, our awning. Just gonna say on awnings, I recommend bringing them in rain. Rain usually means high winds. So bringing in the rain, a light rain ain't gonna hurt. A little drizzle, you can tilt this and run your rainwater this way. Again, I just recommend bringing it in high winds and rains. Don't leave it out. If you're leaving to go somewhere and you don't know the weather for the day, save yourself the trouble and save your awning. So lots of cooking area out here. We've got a big spray port area. Quick connect hose for that. Back here, we've got a griddle with a LP quick connect here. This hose will pull down and connect. Then we've got an outdoor fridge. Controls are in there. LP quick connect here for your second griddle that can set out here. It's in storage up here. I'll show you. I'll send you a video on how to put the legs on those. You put the legs, you remove the little rubber legs on them, put the metal clamp legs, it'll clamp out here. We would move the table down here, clamp on your griddle here. All set for TV as well. A couple outdoor speakers, a vent for your hood range indoors, cable in 110. Again, this is a removable table. Flue for your furnace, few things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of those. They do get hot. And they also sell bug guards for those. Good investment. That's your hot water heater. If it doesn't seem to be working, come out here to see if either one of these are bubbled up. There's your 12 volt and 120 overrides. If they're bubbled up, simply press them back in. There is your drain for that again. Little porch light here. That hole right there will lead through that you can hand crank your slide back in should you lose power as well. Come up here is that griddle and quick connect hose, backup camera. Go Power Solar, you can plug in a solar panel right there and it'll trickle charge your batteries. The batteries underneath your propane is your battery disconnect. That will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. The propane does come with a regulator, lefty-loosey to open. Point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Green means you've got gas. If it turns red, you're out of gas. That covers everything out here. Take a look on the inside. I got a stepped up side unit. First thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. I'm going to go right down here to the control panel and turn on some lights. Already got my awning and step light on. Turn on my interior and bedroom lights. Gives me time to go through this control panel real quick. Up here to the left is where we check the levels of our tanks. Our fresh black and gray tank. Fresh ones I said to keep an eye on when you're filling it. Over here is your battery level. We got all of our lighting. Here's where you connect Bluetooth through your phone. Here's where you turn on your water heater. If hooked to gas, your water heater, if hooked to electric, it does make a difference. Choose correctly. Here's where you turn on your water pump to get to your fresh water. Here's where you turn on tank heater. That's 12-volt pad that's on your tanks to keep them from freezing in inclement weather. Down here's your awning control and slide controls. On your awning control, just want to tell you, when you run your awning out, you only want to run that out, extend until that flap falls down and you can see that brown bar. If you continue to run that extend down, it will flip up onto itself, start running itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out, and just don't run it out further than you need to. It's running back in. Down here is your information. Download the app to control just about everything that's on this panel right here on your phone. It's nice. You can stand outside and watch your slide come out, or if you're setting out the fire, you can shut off all your interior lights. Really cool system. With the awning back in, I'll tell you that these locks here work best when gently slammed. Alright, so we went through that. This is Go Power solar controller. The whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your batteries. The only thing you have to do is make sure that you keep it on the type of battery that you have on this, and I will send you a video on that. GFCI protected 110 here, and I'm going to run our slide out. Pretty deep slide. Remember that when you're leaving your room on the other side. And I want you to hear this noise. That's the mechanism telling you that it's all the way out. Alright, Connex TV can be pulled and rotated. Just want to tell you on that where your cable goes in over here, make sure that green light is on, because that is your antenna. And when you get to the campsites, go in here, run a digital channel scan so you can pick up all the local channels of where you're at. This is also Connex ETV, excuse me. Go back into that and show you that this is also your AM, FM, Bluetooth, everything else. Right. So we go from TV to FM.
I'm a wedding and event coordinator. I'm from...
You go to media play, all kinds of systems in here. You can pair it to your device, you can Bluetooth it, or you can go to FM. Might not pick up any channels in here, but just want to show you that everything is on here now. Connex ETV or Smart TV, Entertainment TV. Again, I won't pick up many stations in this metal building. Self-explanatory microwave. Get that working. Got a light and fan above our cooktop. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn on your panel light. Now when you first arrive at the campsite, you may have to bleed your lines to get the gas going in here. That seemed to do alright. Same thing on the oven. Open this up. Turn the panel light down, it becomes an oven light, or leave that light off. Turn this to light, hit your spark here. That will light your pilot light. With your light off, you can usually see the reflection, and then turn it to your desired temperature. Put this glass top down when traveling. We don't want that falling and breaking. All the fridge controls are inside. AC unit, we'll go right to that. Turn this down, crank up the AC. You do have a quick dump on the end too. Might be colder than 55 in here right now. There it goes. Okay, now you'll notice when I shut that off, it shuts off right away. If I turn on the heat, there's your heat return. So notice when I shut the heat off, it actually will take about 2 minutes for that fan to cycle through and shut off. Down all the way down here, another GFCI protected outlet. This is your carbon monoxide and propane detector. And then over underneath your fridge is your breaker box and fuses. You got a ton of 15s, a 20, and a couple 40s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Again, I showed you from outside that this will flip up and have storage under here. Bedding area. Coming into our bathroom. You do have a hand crank open, 4-speed vent in here. Access to your plumbing here. When you arrive at the campsite, put several gallons of water, flush this several times, put several gallons of water into your black tank if you're going to use it. Your black tank will thank you later by not putting solids into a dry tank. Access panel to your plumbing. You travel a lot, check out your plumbing here in your kitchen. If you're bouncing this up and down the road, remember you're bouncing a house up and down the road. Check things out. Feel for anything that's wiggled loose over time. Maintain it more than you would your home. GFCI reset in here. See how long that took to shut off. Your table will fold down. Pull out on this yellow, and this will jackknife down. Set it on top of those rubber pieces. Put flat cushions on top. Whole nother sleeping quarters. Here is where you turn on your inverter. That will take battery power to utilize different plugs in here that you want to use. Let me go ahead and show you how to set down your Murphy bed. You can pick your sofa, have a cup holder and recliner, but pull on these edges. But lift up on the top, front. So that is your access to your outdoor storage. How important that is to keep that locked when you're not around. Easy access to your unit. Alright, we're just simply going to release these two locks. I'm going to pull everything toward me, and the footboard is going to set out straight. There's your Murphy bed. Most important thing, you have to pull this button in order to lift it back up, or you will break your mechanism here. You do that with two hands here. Make sure that you bring your bed back up, otherwise your slide will run into it. Smoke alarm here. Here you can scan this to get information about 5G gateway connection. And I think that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite. That's our light for in here. Hand crank area there. Let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start by shutting off my interior lights. Now I know any other lighting is lighting that I need to walk through and individually shut off. Get to that one. With all the lights off, I turn on interior and say doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. Do want to mention here that you do have a manual that tells you everything about this unit. Make sure you get in here and read that. There's a water filter. Extension here, make sure that is down. Alright, bring in our slide. Doors and drawers are closed. It's going to put in. The bottom's always going to lift up first. The importance of having nothing out here, having that closed, our doors, and as it comes in, same noise. Alright, shut off our interior and exterior lights and exit the unit. Now, most important thing on these steps, you got to make sure this door is all the way open or closed, one or the other. Otherwise, this is going to catch on it. You see how close it comes coming up. Steps are also adjustable, or feet. Percent on that, that'll release the feet. Let's see how close that is there. Before you leave the dump station, and I say that because you're going to go in there and check the levels of your tanks when you're dumping. Before you leave the dump station, lock, deadbolt, lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that to travel. Alright, if we are out dry camping, bring up our stabilizing jacks, come over here and dump this freshwater drain and head on home or the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we'll unhook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. You got a 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack, and your dump is all the way at the rear of the unit on your driver's side. Drive, hook that up. First thing you pull is that sewer outlet connection. That's going to be your big fat black one on the right hand side there. That sounds like it's no longer draining. Go back inside the unit, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty or pretty close to it, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station and hook up to this tank flush valve. Not your drinking hose, a hose at the dump station. Hook that up, turn that on, leave that handle open, let that run for a good 5 minutes. Guy behind you is on vacation too. 5 minutes ain't gonna kill him. That's gonna wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose, make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained, then close your black and pull your gray. While my grays are draining, get up underneath here, dump these low point drains. 2 of those, open those up. If we're done camping for a while, we don't want to leave stagnant water in our hot water heater. Come back over here, lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, some hot water is going to come out of there. When that's done, push that back down, otherwise your door won't close. Then you can pull your drain plug for a little bit of residual hot water. I just don't want to leave that in there getting all stagnant on you. When your grays are done, low points are done, make sure to put the caps back on those. When the grays are done, close that gray. Take that sewage hose. Remember, that's going to be cleaner water, sinks and showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. Then you can conveniently and sanitarily store this right inside your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Microlite for many years to come. Happy camping.